Well, good morning again, everybody. Welcome to the Team Excellence Call. This is Lynn Gardner, and I'm calling in all the way across the country in beautiful Virginia. I just love this whole unifying message that Omar started, or the company actually started. He brought it forth, and we're plugging in all over the country, and I just love it. You know, it is beautiful in Virginia today. We're actually starting to see a little bit of spring going on. I think it was 2 days ago we had, temperatures in the high 70s and just crystal clear and beautiful the way our springs are. But, this morning, it wasn't quite porch weather for most people. It's 48 degrees this morning in Virginia. But, they say that beauty is always in the eyes of the beholder, right? So this beholder is thinking beautiful spring and warm temperatures. We are approaching a major holiday for people of faith. Tomorrow represents the day of the crucifixion, of my Savior, and I trust that, you guys, a lot of you share my beliefs. And 3 days later, we'll celebrate Easter Sunday, which is a representation of the day that he resurrected from the grave. So for people like me, this holiday represents my hope. If you understand my faith, then you know with certainty what this celebration time means to me. This is a time of, the inspiration for the call today is because of this time, this season of year, and it's entitled Resurrecting the Dead. Sit back, because all of you who don't share my beliefs, it's okay. I'm not going to be preaching a sermon today. That's been my inspiration, and it isn't being brought forth with any disrespect at all. For the true resurrection we'll celebrate very soon. But you know how I chase rabbits, and it inspired me. But as I considered resurrection, I know that this word is not exclusive to our description of what happened on that day so long ago. In fact, Webster's defines resurrection as the act of causing something that ended or been forgotten or lost to exist again, to be used again. I'm going to read that again to you guys. It's powerful, right? The act of causing something that ended or been forgotten or lost to exist again, to be used again. And as I look around me in this world of ours, I see so many people who have fallen by the wayside in our business. They're here and active one day, the next day they're gone, and quite frankly, they need to be resurrected. We know that we can't force someone into doing our business, we can't talk enough and talk till we turn blue, to force them into action, and we can't make them work. But we do know that if we don't do our part, that if we don't, try to keep things alive, if you will, there's not a snowball's chance they're going to do their part either. So it's very, very rare that someone will come out of the dust, and be resurrected, if you will, without a little help or prompting from us. We see it all the time. People grab onto our technology or to our business, and they're fired up. They have hope and they have dreams, and they take a little action to fulfill them in the beginning. Some of them go out and they make some sales, some just a few, and some a whole lot. I'm talking to people pretty routinely now that, are 6As and above or are almost 6A, and they just quit. They just went somewhere. I don't know where they went, but they left, right? And so they die off and they leave the folds of our business. Because we're all entrepreneurs, we're in the business of people, no doubt about that. But we need to understand that these people represent business entities, not just individuals to us, right? So when we see these people take steps to launch their business and they make a sale or two and then they die off, a business entity and all of its potential has died with them. So we need to resurrect them, right? Most of us just shrug our shoulders, and I hear that all the time too. Oh, I don't know what happened to Susie, or whatever. We just kind of take the high road and shrug our shoulders, and we might wonder about what happened to them, and most of us could care less. Sometimes we comment on it, and sometimes we just let them go with the belief that it's entirely up to them if they want to move forward or not, and that's so true. It is. But is there something that we can do as leaders, as entrepreneurs, to resurrect the dead in our business? And you can always rest assured that there is. I believe that there's a fortune for all of us represented, when people and sales that we've already done, people who we've already brought on board in one way or the other. And that the reason most people die out and they're not resurrected is because we dropped the ball. We have to take some responsibility here. If you know me personally, you know that I'm not a babysitter, trust me. I'm not a hand holder. I have expectations in my business for everybody around me, downline, upline, everywhere, and I don't coddle them towards success. But I come out of the real estate industry, and I understand the power of leveraging past business. We've talked about that, the power of referrals and things like that. I understand that. I'm also in the estates business, and I know that no encounter happens by chance. So whoever entered the folds of my business didn't get there by mistake, in my eyes, right? So therefore, I understand that it's up to me to do my part to keep them kindled. And it's up to me to do all that I can do to be sure that they don't die off. And when they do, it's up to me not to throw them to the forgotten or useless pile, but instead to keep dripping them, to keep moving, try to keep them in the fold somehow, keep them with the flow. Life changes for every single one of us all the time, good ways, bad ways. Sometimes people begin the business or they're in the business and circumstances get in the way of building. And these people lose hope because of it. And if we let them stay there, or if we drop them like a hot potato because we don't want to be bothered with people who aren't moving, they won't consider the possibility of this business again when life settles back down for them. We need to be continually reminding our world of what an amazing opportunity we have. That never stops. It should never stop. Sometimes circumstances change for people we introduced the business to, but they showed no interest at the time. Sometimes maybe, unfortunately, it's a marital situation. Maybe they lose their spouse to death. Sometimes people lose their jobs or they're underemployed, if you will. Sometimes people face the realities of, the fact that as your kids get older, the expenses get bigger, and they start looking at things like college just around the corner, and they start to panic a little bit. Circumstances change. Their mindsets change. But if we move past them because they showed no interest in our business and we never keep them in the folds, they probably won't ever consider this business as a financial option for themselves later down the road. So we can all admit that we have people out there that need to be resurrected from the dead. At least, we hope they will be, right? So how do we do that? Well, we do that by continuing to do the very things we should have been doing, at least I hope you did, when you first got them on board. We actually re-recruit them. That's the bottom line. You always do the same things that you did when you got them on board. We invite them to a demo or to a meeting with passion, okay? We treat them as if they've never seen it before. We attempt to get our excitement to rub off on them all over again. That should never stop for you. It doesn't matter that they should already know about these calls. Pick up the phone and remind them. Send them a little note. Send them a text. It doesn't matter that they should already know. It doesn't matter that they've already seen a demo. You shouldn't have to invite them. That's not the point. Maybe they've even attended a global. What matters is that they're dead and they need to be resurrected. And in business, that isn't likely to happen without some help. I've been coaching people here in and out of our industry, and I've heard far too many people invite others to maybe hop on a call or attend a meeting, a demo, et cetera, and I can assure you they'd never get me there or excite me because they had no excitement of their own. So how in the world can we expect to generate excitement, to keep excitement going in our business, or to resurrect the dead if we can't express excitement of our own? I've said this before. It's always worth repeating. You need to consider the power of word-of-mouth advertising. I come out of, marketing and sales and everything to the auction industry. It's powerful. You got to get out there to the media somehow, right, and turn up the heat. But consider word-of-mouth advertising. The very thing that Hollywood strives to create in spite of the millions and millions they spend in advertising is word-of-mouth advertising. Because, you see, if I see a movie, and I went to see it, and you ask me about it, and I say, oh, it's okay. There is not anything that's going to inspire you to want to see it because, you're listening to me, and I just don't have any excitement about it. But if I see a movie and you ask me about it, and I say, oh, my gosh, it was unbelievable, one of the best movies I've ever seen, you're probably going to go to the very next showing. You're going to go see it because of my excitement. So we got some responsibility to always show that excitement, express that excitement to the world around us. So as you consider resurrecting the dead, there's no place for leaving out the excitement because they've already heard it from you in the past, and I hear that all the time is why I'm stressing that. It doesn't matter. Life changes. So you've got to stay excited and let your passion show in everything you do. Re-recruit them. Continue to take those same steps that got them on board in the first place. And you know what? We never stop that. We should never stop that. It's when you stop, excitement's lost. It's when you stop, people die off. It's when you have no or at least little hope of resurrecting the dead that they don't come back. Remember, every single one of these people represents a business, and it's the business of others that helps us propel. I'll give you an example here. Maybe you can relate to it. But if you let's say you owned a group of McDonald's franchises, and one of those franchises, one of those locations began to lag behind all the others, would you just ignore that? Would you think, well, those people must be stupid? They've been taught everything. They already know what they need to do. They're just not doing it. So they need to step up or stay or get out. Do you take that attitude? Or would you attempt to see what's going on, what could be behind the scenes in that location? What's going on that would cause it to lag behind? Because you know what? It has all the advantages of all the others, and yet it's lagging behind. Of course, there's always a chance that no matter what you do at that location and no matter how hard you try, it just won't step up and in line with all the others. But you certainly don't take that high road attitude and say, whatever, because I think one thing that we forget is each person that you've been in touch with is a business entity. So the point is, it has everything in this case to do with the fact that every location we all have the same thing to work with, right? So it's always putting forth the effort into it. Everybody's got the same company here, the same product here, the same, leaders here, the same opportunity here. We all have the same thing, but some people are lagging behind. And when you look at them as just losers that don't get it, you're going to lose that opportunity. I would hope that you want to see what you could do to get things back on track because you have a financial interest in their success. So why is it any different for our business? It's not. I heard this Romy speak recently, and he's talking a lot these days about the mindset, and he was talking about how the only difference, between Romy or any of the other leaders who are seeing success and people that haven't seen it yet is their mindset. It has nothing to do with personality or hard knocks or, that you've got a list of people from another industry. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with mindset. So with that in mind, you should understand that your mindset is important to your success, but helping others with their mindset is important too. You have a financial interest in each entity that begins. So start treating it like that. It's time to resurrect the dead and to be willing to re-recruit on a continuous basis because it's good for the greater cause for all. It might be that you need to be resurrected yourself first. Are you taking the steps yourself that you need to take? Are you working on you on a nonstop basis so that you remain positive and excited? Does it come off that way? Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. I can't answer for you. Are you attending demos and Super Saturdays, or do you say, I've already been there and done that. I've seen them all before. I know what a demo looks like. And do you stop going because you don't have a guest of your own? I'll tell you one thing. There's one sure way to motivate you to get a guest to one of those demos is keep showing up without one. It's going to rub off on you, and it's going to motivate you to get out there and get a guest. But do you make excuses of your own? Do you fail to plan to attend events? I hear it, planning events on this, and I hear it all the time. You might have schedule challenges. There's no doubt about that. When I was raising 4 young children, believe me, my schedule got in the way of many things, and sometimes when I couldn't help it, But you might have some schedule challenges. But what I hear is that it always comes down to money. But when you make a commitment and you're determined, you can and you will make sure that money is there. And believe me, that's all about mindset. And, when we got to the event last year in October, we had so many people, I'm going to be there. And they already knew the date before they left, okay? They knew the date. 1 year from now it's going to happen again, and people scrapping around looking for money. You've got to make the commitment yourself, guys. How are you going to get people to get on board and expect them to run with you if you're not running at all? Maybe you need a little resurrecting of your own. Remember the definition. The act of causing something that ended or been forgotten or lost to exist again to be used again. You can't overlook the fact that this is the act of, okay? Each step in our business has a big purpose. Are you taking them? Are you willing to take action toward the forgotten or the lost to help them be productive and successful again? It always begins with you and me, doesn't it? It depends on our own belief system, whether we're on board or not. So it always comes down full circle to working on us. It comes down to excitement and passion and letting your excitement and your passion rub off on all those people around you. And they haven't been accidentally brought into your world. When I say that, I hope that you could think about a couple of leaders. I think about Omar. I don't have the blessing of being around him as much as some of you people do, but you're never around Omar when he's kicking tires and he's complaining and he's looking like he just lost his best friend. You see excitement, passion. Every single leader that you can think about that you aspire to be like, that's what you see. They never lose their excitement, and they never, ever lose sight of the importance of selling the dream. You know, we can learn from a couple of familiar people to just kind of bring this into closure, you know, how you sell dreams and get people excited. You know, when Apple was founded, you know, Steve Jobs, I mean, he didn't have any money to pay people to help him launch this amazing business. He had the founding members, if you will. He didn't have any money. But you know what? The potential, the opportunity was so amazing, he sold them the dream. And it was enough to motivate and inspire them to get on board and to put off making money till it made money. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that's excitement. That's selling a dream. You know, they weren't as focused on the immediate money. They were focused on the bigger picture. Well, if he can do it, so can we. I mean, I think what we have is equally as profound as what he launched, right? So if he can do that, so can we. And it's true for Mark Zuckerberg, too. Think about him when he launched Facebook. I mean, come on, guys. He recruited, you know, college roommates and fellow students. He needed a founding board member, if you will. He needed a team, you know, to get it going. Just imagine. He couldn't pay them anything. He sold the dream, just like Jobs did before him. He sold something so exciting that they said, you know what, I can wait to get paid. And when payday came, it was big. But they put it off because they bought into the dream. See, he didn't pay them anything. So resurrecting the dead and keeping them alive. You're in business, guys. It only makes business sense. It makes no business sense to just walk away from people that were running a little bit, even running a lot, and just say, whatever, they don't get it. It doesn't work that way. Business doesn't work that way. We aren't part of a club. We're part of an amazing business, and we need to never stop reminding our world of that, especially those who need to be resurrected. So I hope you'll do your part to continue to keep every aspect and every prospect and every past client within your business alive and well. You have a responsibility to all those people that each one is an entity that could lead to great things for you. So blessings to each and every one of you throughout this beautiful time of celebration, especially the people of you share my faith. We're celebrating the greatest resurrection of all, and I hope that you'll consider the risk to your business if you refuse to do your part to resurrect the dead within your business. Happy Easter to all of you. I'll see you guys at the top. Definitely see you next week. Go make it a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.